Hello and good evening, everyone. My name is Tone Vase, and it's the edition of Market Analysis. Today is 2nd, 2017. Hope everyone had a good year, and let's hope for another good year of good returns. 1 second, let me just check. I'm doing these live, and for some reason, there's no video. Right. There's sound, but there is no video. But that could be because I just got a brand new monitor, and for some reason it's not showing. All right, what do you do this? Screen one. So for the live viewers, is there a video now? All right, so here's the problem, guys. I probably have too many tabs open, and I'm chewing up through all my memory. And so this video may not, I'll have to do it tomorrow because I'll have to close way too many tabs. Let me see if I can make it better quickly. That's weekly. That's don't even know what to close. Let's close a bunch of tabs. Still no video. But there is sound, no video. I don't think it's much, and still no video. All right, so is the audio better now? And what about video? Still no video? All right, so now video and audio are okay. Damn. All right, so I'm gonna, well, know what the problem is. It's gonna be like the worst video ever. This is the problem with doing these things live. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Oh man, this sucks. Okay. All right, video is okay, sound is okay. All right, so here's the problem. The problem is I do too much and I have too many tabs, and my Microsoft Surface can't handle it because I don't have enough memory. Here is my current memory, and I'm only at 33%, but it was in the 80s the first few times I tried to do this thing. So this is what I was hoping to use the donations for, by the way, because for me, this computer is plenty, but not if I'm going to be doing everything I need to do. I want to thank those that put donations in. I already upgraded my monitor. I already upgraded my microphone, though the donations didn't nearly cover that, but that's okay. I'm not doing this for money, but just so you know, those that do donate, that's exactly where that value is going. Okay, so, all right, I guess I will just, I'll cut out the beginning when I redo the video, screw up the stats, but that's okay. All right, here we go. So I'm not going to be able to, no, I'm not going to skip the S&P, guys. I'm trying to get out of the whole, I'm trying to do less Bitcoin and more traditional finance. There's more to the world than just Bitcoin. All right, anyway, all right, I'm going to start now, and I'm going to cut out everything from the beginning. And once this video ends, I'm going to edit it, and I'm going to set this one to private. I'm going to set the other one to public. Let me just open my original tabs, and then I'll do them one at a time. I'll just need this, and I'll need Trading View. And then we'll start from there. Yeah, it's memory. It's memory in my Microsoft Surface 3. And once I upgrade to Microsoft Surface 5, and that damn Microsoft keeps delaying the release. So now it's looking like that's not going to happen till March. So, the moment the new Microsoft Surface is out, I'm going to get it hopefully with like at least 8 gigs of RAM, probably 16, so that I can continue doing what I'm doing. All right, now we are going to talk about the S&P. S&P daily. All right, I'm going to be doing these one chart at a time, only because this way the sound and the video quality is going to be good. All right, let me just test one more thing before I start officially. Okay, so what I need to test is I want to share the other monitor. Okay, so can people see the monitor now? All right, so once I get a word that everything's working, we'll start the show, and then I'll cut all of this out. All right. All right. Hello and good evening, everyone. My name is Tone Vase, and it's time for another edition of Tone's Market Analysis. Welcome to the new year. Today is January 2nd, 2017. Hope everyone had a productive 2016 and looking forward to the new year. Many happy returns in 2017. And as for the previous year, I keep forgetting to thank all my viewers. Thank you for tuning in live. I'm now getting between 40 and 50 live viewers per episode, some staying up till like 1 to 2 in the morning, which is why I'll try and do these a little bit earlier, pending technical difficulties. And thank you for your donations. A few people have donated. And just so you know, those that do donate, all of that is basically going to be going to upgrade equipment, need a better computer so that there are less technical difficulties, definitely need more memory, waiting for that Microsoft Surface Pro 5. All right, so let's get this up and running. I'll probably do a couple of episodes this week, only because I want to talk about longer term. I might also talk about additional currencies. I might talk about additional commodities. I want to make this a well-rounded economic show. I can't just talk about Bitcoin because it's crazy. You can't look at Bitcoin in isolation. Bitcoin still has a role to play in the world of global economics. And to be a well-rounded person, that having an understanding of how to trade Bitcoin and why Bitcoin goes up, everyone needs to know the entire world of economics and finance. On my blog right now, I have the WCN Bitcoin group number 122. This was our year in review episode. Please check this out. I think this is probably one of our best episodes. I'm even wearing a suit in this episode, which almost never happens these days. And this is where we go through our best and worst companies and people of the year. So check that out. It's really a great episode. I'll talk about my calendar sometime later on this week and my travel schedule. All right, let's jump right into the markets. And let's just do a quick update. Let's take a look at the futures. The S&P is up a little bit. Gold is down a little bit or flat. Oil seems to be up a little bit. So just a look, making sure that nothing really happened over the weekend. Okay, so I'm running a new monitor. I had to shut everything down to restart this. Definitely need more memory in my computer. So now I'm going to be going through charts one at a time, which is unfortunate. When I get a new computer, I just won't open as many, though I do want to talk about a lot of these markets. So what I started doing in the last episode is whenever I have a position in the market, I'm going to have it look like this. So this is a short position, and this is how much I'm looking to gain, and that's how much I am looking. This is my stop loss. So for me, this was a very good risk-reward ratio on a pullback in the S&P. Now, what happened in reality is on Friday evening, right before the market closed, I actually took this position off the table because I just wanted not to have any position in the market going into this 3-day weekend of New Year's. I just didn't want to have any positions in my real broker where I trade equities, in my Bitcoin broker where I trade these indices, Bitcoin positions, nothing. Just I didn't want to have any positions. So I am planning to pick this short back up, but I may wait till tomorrow to do it. I may not do it overnight. Maybe I'll put in my overnight position and see if it fills, but probably not. I'll wait till morning. So basically, technically, I no longer have a position, a short position in the S&P, but I plan to put it back on tomorrow. If I don't put it back on, then I will delete this. Okay, so for now, I'm going to leave it there. In my mind, I'm still short the S&P. In reality, I'm not, but I probably will be tomorrow. Maybe I'll even get a better price than when I exited on Friday. Okay, so people are asking me what broker I use. So I'll do that quick. So for traditional trading, I use interactive brokers, and to play around with a position like this, just for a few dollars, these are very small positions. I use one broker, and there is a link in the video description with the referral code. So check that out. I do not. That one is unregulated, so only put in there's exchange risk there, like Cryptseed. There is exchange risk, so I just want to warn people that do choose to use it. So just a heads up. Okay, so that's pretty much my daily S&P. And now I'm gonna be opening up these charts one by one. So let's take a look at really quick. Wish these were ordered in alphabetical order. S&P weekly, and I'm gonna close the daily. So these should open relatively quick. Since I didn't have anything else, but I guess I won't be going through all of them. All right, so this is my S&P weekly, and again, I'm looking for this pullback. Not sure how long this pullback will be, but I am fairly bullish. We need to take a look and see how the market reacts early in the year. Traditionally, and I'll probably talk about this during my economics one, during my economic video that I plan to make soon, as to it, the first year of a Republican president have traditionally been very, very bad. Actually, the first year of most new presidents have been pretty bad. So let's see how it plays out in the early days. But I am definitely looking to short the S&P 500 early in the year, unless we break out above this doji to new highs. Somebody asked, why am I short the S&P 500 and not the NASDAQ? There's really no reason other than I'm more familiar with the S&P 500, and I just like all the numbers are in my head because I watch the S&P 500 more than I watch the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ is also more volatile, and sometimes I prefer the predictability and less volatility over the potential of better returns that also come with a higher degree of risk. Okay, so a new chart that I had put together that I do want to show is the S&P 500 monthly, assuming it's saved before I shut this down. There it is. I probably could have opened a few of these charts. Yeah, sorry guys, I will figure this out into next video. Maybe I'll only put like maybe 8 tabs, and then I'll come up with something else. I thought if I had everything else closed and only had a bunch of my tabs open, my memory would be okay, but I was clearly wrong, hence the technical difficulties. Or I'll just have to start making screenshots and doing this off of screenshots, though that would be more work for me. Okay, so this is what I wanted to show. So this is the S&P 500 monthly chart. And I wanted to have the 1987 crash on here. So this down here, this is the 1987 crash. This little guy right here, all the way down on the left. So 1987, right there. And get these candles bigger. And this is a monster breakout. So even if we pull back, and I wanted to talk about the monthly charts, like this is my ultimate crash down to 1500. And I don't even think that's going to happen. I think that's way too much of a crash. So I'm not really looking for a monster crash here. I'm just looking for a pullback. I'm not even expecting us to go below 1800. I'm expecting these lows to stay. So I'm going to skip the Dow Jones. Let's go straight to gold. And I do want to show the gold daily. All right, so this was that last arrow that we had the last few weeks. So it's unfortunate that I did not take a trade. I did not take a bullish trade. I actually did put in a limit order at 1140 to buy gold, but it was when gold was like 1142, and it never pulled back to 1140, and it just went straight up. It went above 1160, and now it looks like we're going back down. But here's the thing, though. I am looking for a pullback in the equities. And if there is a pullback in the equities, that's usually pretty bullish for gold. So I'm not going to take the short here. I think it's very possible gold has a little bit of life in it left. So I'm going to wait a day or two and see how it plays out. If gold is coming back to 1160, I might pick up a bullish trade to maybe 1180 or 1200, and then I'm going to take gold to the downside. All right, I do want to get to gold monthly, but right before that, gold weekly. All right, so this was my gold weekly, and I was looking for a bigger pullback. The pullback I'm looking for is to around 1180, but if it breaks above this Fibonacci, then it can easily go up to about 1200, and then I am expecting lower prices. So this was last year's low, and I am looking to break that to the downside because I don't believe in double bottoms. So here is my gold monthly, and I just put this together earlier today. I haven't really figured out what indicators I'm going to use for this chart. Things aren't always as clear, and look, your 50-month moving average is declining, and I really wish this had more data. The data here only goes back to about 2000, so that's why the moving average kind of just the 200-month moving average only starts here. And I like these numbers. They come in handy. A 9 is a sell signal, and it happened actually on the month of the high. And we had another 9 right here, so that it's an indication that things might get ugly. I am expecting this to break. There is some support at 1,000, but I am expecting it to break. And I have beautiful support right here at 700. I have other videos explaining this in detail. And I'll do another video. Maybe I'll do a video strictly on gold. But for now, let me just close these and jump on oil. Okay. Like I said, I've been having technical difficulties today. I'm not even going to do oil daily. I'm just going to go straight to oil weekly. Whoa, didn't need to move that. All right, so here's the oil weekly. And this is a trade I really should have taken right off of this reverse head and shoulders. And then probably doubled down here, or if I would have had a stop loss right below the neckline, this would have been another good entry. Now the good entry is around 50. I put in a limit order last week to buy it at like 52 or 53, and it never got filled. And right now, it looked like we were at 54. So I'm not sure if I'm going to chase this trade because the risk-reward ratio isn't great anymore. So I may do it, I may not. I'm very, very confident that we'll go to 60 bucks, maybe higher. But now my stop loss would be $4 down. So it's risking 4 to make 6 is a little bit steep as a risk-reward ratio for me. But that was pretty much my view on oil. And again, I put together a monthly chart because the year just ended. If TradingView had the data, I would do yearly charts for a really long-term view, oil yearly, but then you need like 100 years of data. But they definitely don't have that. Just like gold, their oil chart only goes back to like the late 90s, which is definitely not enough. I was hoping to see more of a history when looking at a monthly chart than 15 years of data. But that's about how much they had. But here's a monthly chart of oil. And like I said, it's unfortunate that it only goes back to 2003. And I think oil is going to be on a decline. And I don't believe in double bottoms. And this is almost like a double bottom to me. And if it's not a double bottom, and this has actually made a lower low, which it kind of did, you can see that your momentum indicators, like the RSI and the MACD, have confirmed the low. So that means that there's probably another low coming that's going to be lower. So I am looking for oil to go up. Maybe it'll go up as high as 70, and that would match the weekly chart, and then go down. So I'll just take this arrow. That's fine. And we'll make it green. So I am looking for oil to go up this year and then down. And then we're probably going to go lower than that. But that's what I'm looking for on the long-term view of oil. Let's save that. I'm going to close these. All right, I'm not going to open the dollar. I'm expecting the dollar to go up. I'm not even going to open the... Oh, I'm not sure. Did I put together a Euro monthly? I'm not sure I did. I did. Let's go straight to the Euro monthly. I don't want to have this video last too long. And now that this is definitely not my normal video. Normally these are opened, but having memory problems today. yeah, this computer has seen its days. Probably a lot of malware on this computer, so I would just need to reformat it all. I don't use Mac. I don't use Linux. I find them to be um, I find Mac to be annoying to use. I had a Mac before. I found it very frustrating. I like my Windows machine. I played around with Linux for a minute, and it's completely not user-friendly in my opinion. I like simplicity, but again, this computer does everything I need it to do. It's when I start streaming videos and opening up a million charts for these videos that I'm having problems. Normally, I don't actually have any issues. All right, so here is a monthly chart of the euro. And as you can see, the all-time low for the euro came in 2001. So after 2001, so this is like the 9/11 area. This is when US had a lot of economic problems after 9/11, after the dot-com crash. And the euro started picking up. The economy of Europe started doing well. And the US economy took a while to recover. And the euro went all the way up. Now, euro is the one that's imploding. Euro is the one that's having major issues, while US economy is actually doing pretty well. I mean, unless you listen to all the gloom and doomers, but the US economy is doing reasonably well. And with Trump coming in, I expect it to do very well over the next 4 years. Give or take, bad 6-month stretch here and there. The moving averages have just crossed to the downside, and that's bad. That's your death cross. I like seeing prices going into the cross and then following through. So now we're at lows, and the Fibonacci's were here. We broke through all of them in a hurry. This lower level Fibonacci has been holding up prices, but now there's open air. I mean, all you can hope for is parity, only because it's a round number, but round numbers can only hold things for so long. It's very possible we drop down to 1, then come back and test something, maybe test 1.05 or test 1.1, but I'm expecting this to go all the way down, and I don't believe in double bottoms, like I keep saying. So once we get to the previous low of 85 or 82, whatever it was, things are going to get ugly in a hurry. I'm expecting this to go all the way to like 50 cents, where the US dollar is twice the strength of the euro. And that would actually be bad for the US economy because our exports would just get completely annihilated. All right, next. British pound. So again, I'm just going to jump right straight to the monthly chart because our month just ended and our year just ended. And here's the British pound, and the British pound is actually lower than the 2001 low. So relative to the euro, the British pound has fallen way further against the dollar than the euro has. And this is very interesting. And again, you see, this is what I mean, that I don't believe in double bottoms. Here was your 2001 low. Here was your 2009 low. And now we hit it again last year in 2016, broke right under it, now we're lower. So this is what I'm looking for from the euro. And I think the British pound is unreasonably oversold. And when the euro begins to, like that whole region begins to fully implode, I expect the British pound to be some of the beneficiary of this trade. So I am bullish the pound, but more so relative to the euro than relative to the dollar. Also, we hit an RSI oversold. The last time the RSI oversold happened was in 2009, and then it bounced back, quite favorably. So the trade I've been keeping an eye on, though, as I'm about to explain, clearly I haven't been keeping an eye on it all that well, is the euro versus the GBP trade. Here it is. Yeah, sorry guys, I gotta figure out my computer situation, but nothing's gonna happen until I buy a new Surface, and it's not released yet. So I'll just have to have less of these charts open next time I do this. So the trade I've been looking for that I still haven't like drawn the head and shoulders is the euro versus the pound trade, and I might have missed my right shoulder right here. I don't remember this happening because I was watching this trade. I had a limit order set, but then I took it off like 2 days ago or 2 days before year end. This might have been the right shoulder. And this becomes a very tricky situation because if you go short euro versus the pound, which I'm planning on doing, and I'm wrong and the right shoulder didn't complete, then this is a problem. And also this is very big wick. So it's very possible I'm probably going to take this trade. I'm going to take it way lower than I wanted it. I wanted to take it literally at around this price, at around 8.7. And it came out just short of 8.7. Had I seen this happening, I probably would have taken this short right here. But I totally missed this because I was trying to enjoy my last few days of the year and not pay too much attention to the markets. And I also I have no idea how this wick happened. But this is probably going to be my favorite trade and my first ever currency trade because I'm not a currency trader. So I'm going to give that one a shot, see how it goes. So I don't recommend anyone following my trades. This is probably going to be a complete and utter disaster. All right, on that note, let's get to Bitcoin. I know everyone, most of my followers are Bitcoin people, so let's talk about Bitcoin. Let's go with weekly. All right, so here's my weekly chart. I'm using Bitstamp for this one. And I've been bullish ever since we broke above 760 because this was a Fibonacci resistance. And then we go up. There was one more Fibonacci resistance at 915, but I clearly said it was going to be weak. My other points of contention are going to be the round number 1000, which I also expected it not to be strong resistance because it's a bullish sign. And it's going to hit the news. I also expect there to be lots of media coverage, Bitcoin media and mainstream media, the moment Bitcoin and gold hit parity. And that's, again, very, very positive coverage. Your next level of resistance is going to be the previous all-time highs. And it's 1170 on Bitstamp. And I believe it was over 1200. It was 1242 on Mt. Gox. And once we breach those levels, it's really open air from there on. I mean, we're going to be entering new territory. So I am very bullish on Bitcoin for the first 6 months of the year. Now, the whole SegWit thing is an issue. We really need SegWit to pass sometime in 2017. And if it does, that would be another great boost for Bitcoin. And what I'm looking for, by the way, I'm looking for SegWit support in a few months to pick up so that once SegWit becomes a no-brainer that it's going to happen, there will be this huge speculation going into Bitcoin. because everyone is going to have confidence that SegWit is going to pass and scaling is going to happen. And this speculation is going to drive Bitcoin up. Just like this speculation here started in May and ended about a month before the halving. It was speculation of the halving. The halving took place here, and then there was a sell-off after the halving. If you look at my videos from this area here on like the World Crypto Network and other shows, I talk about this stuff quite often, and it actually played out exactly like I said it was going to play out, even though I didn't really invest for it. That's just kind of what I kept saying, and it was a lucky guess. I was saying that people are going to speculate about the halving and price rising, and after the halving, there will be extra miners selling because they will have rationed going into the halving, which it only makes economic sense. And these are the kinds of things, like, unless you've owned a business before, there's no way you can have that idea in your head. The only reason why I was looking at it that way is because I still own a physical brick and mortar. And to me, if I start speculating at the number of customers I get through the door, I fail. It's really, you really have to prepare for seasons and off seasons and ration your savings in order to, keep things going. All right. So on that note, I am looking for it to go up. So the speculation for SegWit is what's going to drive the prices up, not the passing of SegWit. So if SegWit is looking like it's a no-brainer and it's going to pass sometime mid next year, the speculation will drive it way up ahead of time, and SegWit passing might be the euphoria that crashes the price down. People have been asking me to talk about why I think the high is going to come in August, and I'll talk about that in a previous video. I might have to update that article from 2.5 years ago where I picked that date, and I'll explain why I picked that date. And I could be totally wrong. This is all, technical analysis isn't perfect. It really only needs to work 60% of the time for you to make money on it, as long as you're a consistent investor. Okay, let's take a look at the daily. All right, Bitfinex daily. Okay, so this is, you know what, I can even do this. There we go. So this is my old Bitfinex daily chart. This is a cup and handle, but we've already broken out way above the target. And it's basically the same as the weekly. I drew this arrow back there. I have not touched it. I have not changed it. And I'm expecting it to go there soon. I don't even know what the price is right now. I don't really speculate on Bitcoin much, leverage long, leverage short. I try to hold on to my Bitcoin in cold storage, the few Bitcoin that I still have, due to poor investments, which I'm definitely not going to get into. And just going to hold on to it. I do think it has a huge use case in the near future. And one more, this has my channels. I'm going to close the other one. And I'll open the hourly as well. All right, so this is my channel. And I've been waiting to hit the top of this channel. I think the top of this channel will be hit around 1250 or 1300, and we might even break above the channel. But the thing is, the channel is very, very steep. It'll probably be around 1600. So if this isn't going up exponentially to the upside and it kind of goes up slowly, by March, we're looking at 1600 and hitting the top of the channel. So that would probably be a time I might take a little bit of profit, but probably not. I mean, I think I've already decided that I'm holding on to Bitcoin till it hits about $10,000. Unless I see something like this exponential rise that happened here, and it happened for absolutely no reason. Maybe triple M, but I don't even think it was that. So unless it starts to go up exponentially and then it's hitting some of my time targets, I would do it. Also look at the volume. I know it's Bitfinex, and I know Bitfinex has had its issues, but the volume on Bitfinex has completely died. So I'm not sure what that means. Here is my, let's take a look at the volume here. So this is the volume on Bitstamp, and the volume on Bitstamp is also going down, but now it's starting to pick up a little bit. So, okay, and here is the hourly chart. This green arrow is from my daily chart, and I haven't touched it. When I went to the hourly, I left that daily arrow as it was. And then I just drew in this trend line here just to see. And this trend line is also pretty steep. And we came back. We're testing the 50-day. I like how the 50-hour moving average is sloping to the upside. It's above the 200-hour moving average. And things are looking good. All right, do I think that Bitcoin will hit $10,000 level? I do. Do I think it will hit it in the next year? Probably not. Will it hit it in the next 2 years? It's possible, but I'm more looking for $10,000 over the next 3 years. So around 2020, that becomes a reasonable target, though there's a couple of things to keep in mind there, right? It's a lot easier to go from 100 to 1,000 than it is from 1,000 to 10,000, right? I know they're both a 10-fold increase, but the market cap is huge, right? The jump in market cap is really huge. So I think 10,000 is possible going into the next halving. But not soon before that. If we're hitting those kinds of levels way before the next halving, get ready for a big crash, like a 50% crash from 10,000 back to 5. These things are very difficult to predict. Remember, Bitcoin has to be over $10,000 over the next 5 years. Otherwise, mining is not sustainable anymore. So mining can only be sustainable if the price of Bitcoin goes up, because after the next halving, there's going to be, 6.25 Bitcoins per block. So they need to start getting expensive. So yes, I am looking for that kind of a price. And also adoption, more adoption. If the war on cash is my biggest thing. If the war on cash picks up, then Bitcoin becomes way more useful, and we'll see. And by the way, don't be surprised if Bitcoin is deemed illegal by many jurisdictions. I mean, that's also coming. So be careful how you spend your Bitcoin. Okay, so I think I have a bunch of questions, and I'm gonna probably address one of them head on. I don't talk about altcoins because I don't think they're worth anything. Okay, so here's the thing. So everyone is going crazy over Monero, and I I don't have any Monero. I don't own any Monero. I don't plan to own any Monero. Now, if you ask me what altcoin should be in the number 2 slot and which altcoin should be in the number 3 slot, I would tell you that Monero and Litecoin should be fighting for 2 and 3. But that doesn't mean that Monero would be at a higher market cap than Ethereum. So Monero and Litecoin can be fighting for 2 and 3 at a market cap of, you know, this. Whatever the hell Ardor is. Never heard of it, no idea. Tether, I know what Tether is. Okay. Just because you're in a number 2 position, it doesn't mean it needs to be near $1 billion. And I've already shown that every coin that has ever made it to $1 billion has completely collapsed. Now, the reason why Monero and Litecoin deserve to be 2 and 3 is because Monero and Litecoin, they're not scams. They're good testnets. They had fair launches. The creators of those coins didn't have an unfair advantage to like pre-mine those coins for themselves. And they're being developed in a way similar to Bitcoin. Now, Ethereum's a scam. I'm not going to get into in this video as to why. Ripple is not even a cryptocurrency. Again, it doesn't even belong on this chart. Like Ripple being here is no different than OneCoin being here. I actually don't know why OneCoin isn't on this chart. I need to talk to the cryptocurrency market cap guys. I want them to put OneCoin here because to me, OneCoin is as legitimate as Ethereum. It's as legitimate as Steemit. It's as legitimate as Ripple. So therefore, it belongs on this chart. Now, I know all the Steemit people talk about how scammy OneCoin is, but Steemit is the same thing. So I would love to see OneCoin on this chart for comparison. It will definitely make my life easier. So that's kind of my view. Again, I don't like talking about altcoins on these videos. I'm trying to make these more traditional finance and economics. So Monero and Litecoin will be 2 and 3. I don't know. Monero can be number 2 at a price of $2 per Monero, and Litecoin can be below that, right? Or Litecoin might go to like $10. I have no idea. Monero can go to 50. Monero can go to where Litecoin was. I have absolutely no idea. I am not going to speculate because I think it's ill-advised. I don't think Monero can offer anything that Bitcoin can't offer, especially once SegWit gets in. Because the moment SegWit gets in, the focus will now be how to do fungibility off-chain for Bitcoin. And lots of people are going to be very interested in that. So that's kind of my view. Again, outside of Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Monero, I don't know anything else. I mean, Tether doesn't count. It sort of counts. Anyway, Tether is a special case. I don't think there is anything else on this list that's remotely like that. That's just not a scam. I just, in my opinion. So that's kind of my view on the future of altcoins going into next year. I expect Ripple and Litecoin to be 2 and 3. Sorry, whoa, Ripple, hell no. Ripple shouldn't be on this list. Litecoin and Monero to be 2 and 3, but I have no idea whether it will be at a higher market cap or at a lower market cap. Ethereum will eventually go the way of BitShares. I don't know where the hell is BitShares. BitShares, there it is. So Ethereum will go over here to where BitShares is, and Steemit will go the way of Aurora Coin. I don't even know where Aurora Coin is. There it is, 82, right? So Steemit will go to Aurora Coin, or maybe Paycoin. Where's my? There it is. There you go. Bitcoin. Okay. All right. Any questions? Hopefully they're not altcoin related, but there you go. Let me look at questions. This was like, I'm not going to recommend this video to anyone. I know I'm having like a new record of live viewers, 62, having crazy technical difficulties talking about altcoins, which I never do. And let me look at some questions. I know there was a long live chat here. Question: if Bitcoin is taxable, how do you think the IRS would entertain a tax loss against your other income? I mean, you can do it. You can do a loss. I mean, if you lost money on Bitcoin, the thing is you have to be able to prove that you lost money on Bitcoin. In order for you to prove that you lost money on Bitcoin, you have to show them your accounts. And then if you're going to be sneaky and you're going to show a loss on Bitcoin, but then Bitcoin goes up later and you try to be sneaky and not report the gain, you're going to be in serious trouble. So it's up to you how you play your Bitcoin. Another question: do you have any advice to new Bitcoiners who intend on buying Bitcoin now and want to avoid running into tax problems in the future? Yeah, you don't buy from Coinbase, and then it's on your own. Also, if you move to Puerto Rico, then you don't have to worry about taxes either, right? So there's choices. You can get out of tax jurisdictions legally. Look, you treat your Bitcoin the way you treat your gold, right? I mean, if you're going to be buying gold coins in a store in cash, do you report them to the IRS? Some people do, some people don't. I don't advise people to do one thing or another, but it's up to you. Just make your own decisions. Questions: could you suggest a buying strategy? Seems so high and not feeling secure buying it now. Want to make solid part of my portfolio. Look, it's hard to time any market. One of my friends bought Bitcoin at $1,000. It took him 3 years to make money on that trade. But I kept telling him, just hold it. And he's finally in the green as of this week, right? So I remember Barry Silbert, back when Bitcoin was 800, back when it was falling from 1150 to 800. I remember Barry Silbert watching him live, and he's like saying how 800 is the bottom, and then 3 more years it took. So you never know. You also have to believe in Bitcoin, right? I mean, like, don't buy it long term if you don't believe that it has potential, and you have to understand why it has potential. And I believe in Bitcoin, and I will go down with the ship. Everyone is now, I think people have stopped trying to convince me that Ethereum is useful. Thank God. I think people have almost stopped convincing me that Steemit is useful. I think people have stopped convincing me that Zcash is useful. Well, people convincing me that the DAO is the latest and greatest thing. That stopped very quickly, thank God. Look, can Monero overtake Bitcoin? In my opinion, it can't. In my opinion, the moment it does, this entire blockchain experiment has failed. Like, everything will implode. We're stuck with Bitcoin. Now, yes, you can profit from Monero. It can go, it can double, it can triple, it can quadruple. Ethereum hit 20, Litecoin hit 50, Aurora Coin hit 100. Yes, you can speculate, but something bad happening to Monero is your probability is way higher than something bad happening to Bitcoin. I mean, if Roger Ver can't fork Bitcoin, I don't think anybody can, right? Or Mike Hearn. I mean, these guys have been in Bitcoin since 2010. Gavin Andreessen. I mean, if these guys can't fork Bitcoin, then nobody can, which is good. And that's stability and that's confidence. Every market is about confidence. The reason I talk about the euro, the reason I talk about the stock market, is that all of these things are going to be connected. It's not the Fed. It's not. I don't think it's the Fed. It's capital flow. It's where's the money going? Who's putting money where? Where are the people in India putting their money? Well, actually nowhere, because they just lost all their money. They have no money to put anywhere. Commerce in India is crashing because no one has any money. So yes, a few people will buy some Bitcoin in India, but that's probably about it. All right. Are there any other questions? This is not how I planned to do the show today. It's supposed to go all smooth. I was all ready, and then my computer didn't have enough memory, so it wasn't really cooperating. I'll try and figure something out over the next few months. If anyone has good malware cleanup or just clean up my computer somehow, I'm sure it's got a million things on it. That's why I'm just waiting to just buy a new one. Feel free to connect with me. Hit me up. My email's on my blog. I'm very accessible on Twitter as well. All right, guys. On that note, I'm signing off. I'll see you later in a week. I want to do a full economic show, less charts, more economics, preparing for next year. And also, I might do some specific markets. Do I think Trump will return the U.S. to the gold standard? No, guys. No one is going to the gold standard. I mean, that's crazy talk. This isn't this isn't 1890. Well, we're not going back to the gold standard. It's never going to happen. The world moves too fast for gold. Unless someone develops a teleporter where you can literally beam gold like they do on Star Trek from place to place, no one is going to the gold standard. You'll go to the gold standard. I mean, if there's like a nuclear apocalypse and there's no more electricity, I will concede that we're going back to the gold standard. Until then, why would anyone go to the gold standard? I mean, you have it's a digital. Even if the internet didn't exist, we still wouldn't be going to the gold standard. On the internet, we're not going to the gold standard. So I don't see it. I've been talking to Andy Hoffman. Me and him need to do a video so we can talk about this stuff. I just don't see it. All right. On that note, I'm signing off. Have a good and profitable year. I will try and upgrade my equipment, and hopefully there won't be too many. Oh, another question. Okay, I'll do one more. Is there any price prediction for the end of this year? Do you guys expect something more normal? Since we don't have a halving, pretty sure that that was already answered. Yeah, so I've been answering this, and I'm probably going to do a full video on this. SegWit. Go back in this video like 20 minutes ago when I talked about SegWit and how I see the whole thing with SegWit playing out. And again, I don't want to. I'm looking for a high in August, but I don't know what price it's going to be. It's hard for me to predict. I can make a guess right now where the price will be at the end of the year, of this year. If I'm forced to make a prediction, I'm probably going to be wrong. I would say probably around 2,000 and possibly under 2,000. And that doesn't mean that we can't hit 3,000 by summer. Like we can go to 3,000 into August and then crash to like 1,500 and then recover. So it's possible that the mid-year price this year, especially if the media picks up the story, if the war on cash picks up the rhetoric, this unreasonable expectation, this massive rush to Bitcoin could spike it, just like it spiked it in 2013, and then we had 2 years or a year and a half of downside. So I can totally see something like that happening in the first half of this year, and then a big fall. So even though I'm very bullish this year, it's very possible that we're going to have a correction towards the end of the year. So the year-end price may not be nowhere near as high as the mid-year price. But let's see what happens over the next few months, and let's see what kind of support SegWit is getting. Okay. On that note, I will sign off, and I'll see you all later on this week.